Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. We have some breaking Prince Andrew news, and I figured we weren't going to wait till the daily drop tonight. We're going to jump right into it. So, the situation is, I'll give you a little bit of an outline before we read the article. You had the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Jeffrey Berman, speaking to reporters outside of Epstein's mansion today. And he had a lot to say, folks, all right? And he dropped the bombshell about Prince Andrew. And that's what this article is going to discuss. So we're going to dive right into this article, and we're going to see what they have to say. The article is from the Daily Mail. Headline: Federal prosecutors reveal Prince Andrew has provided zero cooperation in Jeffrey Epstein investigation, despite publicly promising he would, as U.S. Attorney leading the probe gives press conference outside the pedophile's New York mansion. The article was written by Megan Sheets, and it was published on January 27th, 2020, about 2 hours ago. All right, now to the article. Prince Andrew has not returned federal prosecutors' interview requests despite publicly offering to cooperate with their ongoing investigation into pedophile Jeffrey Epstein and his potential co-conspirators. Well, that's pretty obvious, folks. He did not respond because, well, he is a co-conspirator. I bet you his legal team has advised him not to say a word, just keep quiet until Alan Dershowitz is done with the impeachment, and then, we can hire him and he can come over here and defend you too. Speaking to reporters outside Epstein's Manhattan mansion on Monday, U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Jeffrey Berman, said that prosecutors have contacted Prince Andrew's attorneys but have not received a response. Well, does that shock you, folks? It does not shock me at all. They're formulating their game plan. They're going to try and stall. The last thing they want is Prince Andrew on the record with the FBI. It will be an utter disaster for them. Do you see what happened during his interview, folks? Now, can you imagine if seasoned investigators got their hands on him and they weren't worried about, being white-gloved because he's the Prince of England? Screw that. Imagine if they went hard on this guy. I'm telling you right now, none of them, zero, not one person in this operation could withstand that fury. They would roll over in an instant, okay? In an instant. So I bet you his legal team is telling him, look, batten down the hatches. You've already suffered the public image crisis. How much worse can it get? The last thing you want to do is leave yourself open to legal liability now. So I bet you that Prince Andrew's legal team is stalling to try and wait this out to see what comes of it. DailyMail.com has reached out to Buckingham Palace for comment. Prince Andrew said in November that he was willing to assist U.S. officials with investigations into Epstein and his associates. Well, we knew that wasn't going to happen. We knew that he wasn't going to do it willingly anyway, right? He's going to have to be compelled. He's going to have to be compelled to go on record. And the way to do that is to issue a subpoena. Now, if the FBI is interested enough in talking to him, well, there has to be a little bit of smoke there, right, folks? There has to be a little bit of smoke there. So bring in Vickers, bring in Leslie Groff, bring in all those other co-conspirators, and put the screws to them. What do you know about Andrew? Was he there? Was he involved? Get the information, bring it to a judge, and have them sign off on a subpoena, warrant, however that works, okay? Not very difficult. The question is, why are they not starting at the bottom? And I say bottom meaning in the, the pyramid scheme that these people were working. Why aren't they starting with the captains, the four ladies, and bring all of them in and put them to the screws, folks? There is zero chance that they won't rat out their co-conspirators. Zero chance. Of course I am willing to help any appropriate law enforcement agency with their investigations if required, he said in a statement soon after being grilled about his ties to the disgraced financier in a TV interview. Pedophile. Well, okay, here's your chance. You have your chance here, Prince Andrew. You said on the record that you'll come out and you'll speak to investigators. This is the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York that's saying you are being uncooperative. Is he lying? Or are you lying? Well, I'm not usually, one to believe the U.S. attorney for the most part because I understand they play their own games as well. In this instance, it's obvious that Prince Andrew is not being cooperative. It's obvious that Prince Andrew is hiding something, and it is obvious, at least to me, in my opinion, that he is not an innocent man. Berman made his remarks about the Epstein case during a joint appearance with members of Safe Horizon, a nonprofit victim services agency, to discuss a New York law that makes it easier for people to sue over childhood sexual abuse. Good law. I like that law too. New York gets it right every now and then, folks. Every now and then they get it right. But high society in New York certainly isn't going to like that law because we all know how sick and disgusting most of them all are. The same people who welcomed Jeffrey Epstein back with open arms after he was convicted. Yeah, those same people. The attorney wouldn't discuss the Epstein investigation in detail, but did confirm that prosecutors are looking at possible conspirators who worked with a disgraced financier. Pedophile. Also, why is it, if they're going to keep calling them conspirators and this was an ongoing criminal enterprise, an ongoing criminal operation, why in the world have they not slapped them with RICO charges? Is anyone ever going to get an answer to that? I mean, I guess I'll have to call the SDNY and ask them myself because I seriously, honestly want an answer for that. And if there's a logical answer for it, I'm all ears, right? But from what I know of the law, of the RICO law, and how it's slapped to people and how they prosecute it, this fits all of the standards for a RICO case, folks. And like we all know, if you slap them with that RICO charge, well, it becomes a whole different ballgame. Jeffrey Epstein couldn't have done what he did without the assistance of others, and I can assure you that the investigation is moving forward, Berman said. All right, look. Benefit of the doubt time, all right? We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt right now. I'm willing to give U.S. Attorney Berman the benefit of the doubt right now and think he's moving in the right direction and he's going to do the right thing. Do we have any heroes left in the government, folks? Are any of these people, any of these prosecutors willing to go the extra mile and put it all on the line? Because that's what it's going to take to go against these powers, and maybe Berman's that guy. Hopefully he is. But dropping this bombshell in public about Andrew, that's a big step, folks. That's a big step towards transparency in this case. And really, that's all we're asking for here, right? We're not asking for them to come out and tell us every little detail of what they're doing. But a press conference like this every now and then would not hurt. The survivors who went through the abuse, they deserve an update every now and then, yeah? The attorney declined to comment when asked if Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's longtime partner, is cooperating with investigators. That's very interesting, folks. That is very interesting. And I've said this from the very beginning with her. She would sell her soul to get out of this, right? If there's a way for her to wiggle out, she's exploring it. She's not the kind of person that's going to go down with the ship, right? She's not standing on the Titanic's deck while the band's playing and, just going to go down with the ship and not try to escape. That is not in her character. That is not who she is. She will try and survive, and she'll try and be like the last roach during an apocalypse. That is who she is. Well, is she cooperating? Could be. Who knows? Who knows? But at the end of the day, I've said it for a while now that I believe Maxwell is just as guilty as Epstein, and it doesn't go any higher than Maxwell. So why would they want her to cooperate? Because that goes down on the food chain. Unless, of course, they're going big game hunting, which is possible in this climate that we're living in, this political climate that we're living in. It would not surprise me one bit if Maxwell, say she was cooperating and she was giving up names. Well, these guys will easily go after the big game. They'd love to do that. They love the big game hunt. But I really hope that we're not taking our eye off the prize here. And remember how evil Ghislaine Maxwell is, how evil she is, what she did to Maria Farmer, what she did to those other girls. It cannot go unpunished, and I would hate to see her get a deal, folks. I would hate to see her get a deal. Let's bring in some of the other people, and let's put the screws to them, and maybe throw one of them a deal for ratting on all of these people. And then, and maybe give Maxwell a deal, right? If the deal is she does at least 35 years or so. Maybe then she gets a deal, but there's no plea deal for her anymore. There is zero, that's not going to happen, and I highly doubt that the SDNY would even dangle that at this point. So we'll see. This is getting real interesting real fast, folks. Berman also declined to comment on the time frame of the investigation, as several victims have complained about the length. And again, several victims. How about several survivors? Let's stop calling them victims. Survivors. All right? Andrew has categorically denied having any knowledge that Epstein was sexually abusing teenage girls. The prince announced that he was withdrawing from his royal duties late last year amid renewed attention over his friendship with Epstein and a woman's claim that she had several sexual encounters with the prince, starting when she was just 17. Virginia Roberts says that after meeting her in Florida in 2000, Epstein flew her around the world and pressured her into having sex with numerous older men, including Andrew, 2 senior U.S. politicians, a noted academic, wealthy financiers, and attorney Alan Dershowitz, who is now part of President Donald Trump's impeachment defense team. Boy, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice to read, huh? The President of the United States, and I don't care who it is, folks, Democrat, Republican, my uncle, okay? I don't care. If you put Alan Dershowitz on your defense team while he's being credibly accused by Virginia damn Roberts, who has told nothing but the truth throughout this whole entire thing, then there is something wrong with you, all right? You're either getting terrible advice or you just do not care about the optics. It is horrible to see Alan Dershowitz on Donald Trump's defense team, folks. I am sorry. It makes me ill. How do you think that makes Virginia feel? You think she feels good seeing this guy up there all the time with all this publicity, him being on the news? Meanwhile, she's accused him of something that is absolutely positively horrendous. So, that whole Dershowitz thing, you guys all know how I feel about that, where I stand on that. It absolutely sickens me. I drew the line in the sand weeks before Trump even announced that Dershowitz would be part of the team, and I said that if Dershowitz was ever part of the team, it would be scorched earth, and well, here we are, folks. Just seeing him and seeing his face on the TV, it agitates me. It bothers me. He has done nothing but bully these survivors, and he has done nothing but protect and enable people like Epstein. And if you want to take it a step further, which none of these outlets seem to want to do ever, well, he's being credibly accused by Virginia Roberts of not only enabling folks, okay? Not only enabling, but of participating in Jeffrey Epstein's disgusting abuse of her. And this man has the audacity to sit there and preach to the rest of the country? We get it. You're some great constitutional scholar. Big deal, dude. Big deal. Nobody cares. All right? Nobody cares at this point. The only people that are defending this move are partisans, okay? And I have no use for partisans on either side of the aisle when it comes to this case, folks. I've told you that from the beginning, and I've been very, very, very clear about where I stand when it comes to this case. All right? This is absolutely abhorrent that Dershowitz is part of this team. All right, sorry, I digressed a little bit, but that's how agitated it makes me. All of those men have denied the allegations. Roberts has said she had sex with Andrew 3 times at Epstein's request, including once in London in 2001 at the home of Epstein's girlfriend Maxwell, Epstein's co-conspirator, Epstein's partner in crime, the brains behind the operation. I can keep going. In the November TV interview with BBC, Andrew maintained that he does not recall meeting Roberts. Yeah, no, that picture was fake, folks. All right, that picture was fake. Do not believe what you see. Only believe what our betters, the elites, tell us. Give me an absolute break. All right? Words can't... I don't have enough words to describe how much I detest these people. He insisted he did not spend time with her at Tramp nightclub in London on March 10th, 2001, after which she claims the pair first had sex. The Duke denied he slept with her on 3 separate occasions, saying the encounter in 2001 did not happen, as he had taken his daughter, Princess Beatrice, to Pizza Express in Woking for a party, and they spent the rest of the day together. It didn't happen in the day, it happened at night, okay? And also, furthermore, what sort of man brings his daughter's name into this to defend what he did. What sort of disgusting, depraved piece of crap does that? A photograph apparently showing Andrew with his arm around then 17-year-old Roberts that evening, and with Epstein's friend Ghislaine Maxwell standing in the background, has been widely published. Supporters of Andrew, however, have disputed its authenticity. Okay, so who are these supporters of Andrew? I haven't seen any of them come out and use their names, right? The supporters, what does that mean? You mean lickspittles? You mean the people that travel around and fawn after him because he's a prince? Who cares, all right? Nobody's come out publicly and said, yeah, I support Prince Andrew. He's a hell of a guy. Zero of that, okay? In fact, it's been the opposite, folks. U.S. Attorney General William Barr has vowed, we trust you, Bill Barr. We definitely trust you. Vowed to aggressively investigate and bring charges against anyone who may have helped Epstein, who killed himself, allegedly, in his jail cell last summer while he was awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. 2 guards who were supposed to be monitoring Epstein the night he was found dead have been charged with falsifying the jail's logbooks to indicate they were performing checks on prisoners when they were actually sleeping or browsing the internet. And that is how they closed out the article. No mention of the warden who got the new cush gig at the, the low-level security prison he's going to be hanging out in, kicking his feet back up till he gets his retirement. Till he gets his nice fat retirement that we'll be paying for the rest of our lives for the fantastic job he did, making sure Epstein didn't get hurt, make sure Epstein didn't get killed, make sure Epstein didn't kill himself, whatever you want to say. But he did a fantastic job of making sure that these survivors got justice, right? He did a real good job of that. So much so that we're going to make sure he gets himself a nice cush gig where he can kick his feet up and wait till retirement. Boy, isn't being an unelected bureaucrat grand? Folks, the whole house of cards is falling down around their ears. All right? The pressure is being ramped up. If Prince Andrew is dealing with this sort of scrutiny, then anybody can get it. The American legacy media, where are you? Where are you? Get to work. You have the resources. You can get these interviews. What are you doing? Do your job, folks. Please just do your job and track down these stories as aggressively as the English media has tracked down the stories about Andrew. Very important, folks. It's very important that the legacy media jumps on board because they're the ones that have the platform, right? So when you have people watching Good Morning America who might not know about the case and Good Morning America starts talking about it, well, they might just get a little taste of what they have to of what the case is, but now they're more interested, so they're going to do their own research. So it's important that the legacy media, at the very least, does that, right? All right, everybody, look, this Prince Andrew guy, we all know what he is. We all see what he is at this point, and we know that he's obviously lying. All right, in my opinion, he is lying as if nobody has ever lied before. This guy is telling a whopper here, folks. So anyway, I'll be back later on tonight for the Daily Drop as usual, but I figured that this was an important part of the story and I didn't want to leave it out or wait until the Daily Drop in case things change. We might have to do an update to it. So, all right, everybody, enjoy your afternoon. I hope everybody's enjoying their Monday, and I will be back later on for the Daily Drop. If you'd like to contact me, you could do that at bobbycapucci@protonmail.com. That's BOBBYCAPUCCI@protonmail.com. If you would like to help support the podcast, you can do that by clicking on the GoFundMe link inside of the description box. All right, folks, I'll catch you later.